We all know what it's like to live within some sort of trauma. We all know what it's like to live within being misunderstood. We all know what it's like to live within instabilities. This is a day-to-day factor of life as human beings. What's good, everyone? Just out here getting after it once again. You know what it is, and I hope all you guys out there are doing just the same, continuing on this journey to be able to create better individuals to give back to your dogs and your family units. Now, I wanted to share with you guys the idea of not passing on your trauma, not passing on your pain, to not pass on your own instabilities, and to not pass on the lies that have been fed to you and that you feed to yourselves, to learn how to operate in reality in a way that is going to be beneficial for you, your dogs, and your families. So, what do I mean when I talk about this? Really, have a think about it. We all know what it's like to live within some sort of trauma. We all know what it's like to live within being misunderstood. We all know what it's like to live within instabilities. This is a day-to-day factor of life as human beings. But instead of putting power into this, instead of holding ourselves to the past, why do we not learn to navigate through this in a healthy manner, to learn how to heal ourselves? Because if we do not, what is it that we're really doing? We're putting power to the excuse. We're rationalizing with the reasons why our behaviors are to be excused and why it's okay for so many of us to behave in the way that we do. And what are we doing when we do that? All we're doing is passing on all of this fucking bullshit back onto our dogs, back onto our children, back onto our families, back onto our friends, your brothers, your sisters, back onto your spouses. You're passing all of this back onto the people that you claim to love and care for. So understanding that that's actually what you're doing when you live within the realm of excuses when it comes to these sorts of things. Don't you think it's up to the individual to do something about that? To do something better about that? Because if you really know what it's like to live within this realm, why the fuck would you want to pass that on to the people that you claim to love and care for? You really love your children? You really love your dogs? You really love your friends and family? You really love your partner? That's going to be the last thing that you could ever wish on any of them. So here, let me give you an example. I'll start off with our dogs. Our dogs look at us for guidance and direction before they act up on their own. They look at us to be able to provide a component of leadership. Do they not? Are they not social and hierarchical creatures? So understanding this, if we are not competent to lead in a healthy way, and they see us live our existence through instabilities, what is it that we're actually sharing? We're sharing that confusion. The dog can see that you're not in control of yourself mentally and emotionally. The dog can see that you lack the ability to be able to control the situation and the environment. So understanding that the dog is a dog, how is the dog supposed to react? The dog is going to react in a way where it tries to take this leadership position for itself. This is why we have so many unstable handlers that pass on instabilities back onto the dog. Therefore, the dog has no other choice but to try and take that leadership role. Therefore, the dog is going to be held prisoner to a neurotic existence. Is going to be held prisoner to a state of instabilities, of confusion, of being misunderstood. Why would you want to traumatize your animal in such a way if you truly love it? Really ask yourself that. Or do you put more power and do you put more love back into the excuses of why it's okay for you to be like that. I know where I'd rather put my power. I know how I'd rather show my love. I'd rather learn to heal myself so that I can hold myself in a position so that the people that I love and care for, so that my dogs do not have to suffer in such a way. When it comes to our children, how many times have we seen the same thing? Our children are naturally going to look at us for guidance and direction too. They're our children. We're supposed to be the parents that are paving the way. But yet, we want to pass on all that bullshit back onto the kids, feeding them the same fucking lies that we've had fed to us and that we feed to ourselves. Unstable parents produce unstable kids. So to break that cycle, what do we need to do? We need to learn to heal self. Don't you think it's more important to heal self? To learn to lead by example? To be a better example? Than to create more unstable human beings? Than to create more instabilities within the people and the children that we claim to love and care for? Really think about it. To lead by example by teaching healthy practices and healthy habits. These habits are going to forge who these children are going to become when they become older. It's going to forge within the way they conduct themselves through their daily character. Do you not understand this? So stop excusing your vices. Stop excusing your addictions. Stop excusing all of your instabilities of why it's okay for you to behave in a certain manner. For why it's okay for you to put so much power back into your excuses. And be that better example. Be that better parent for your children. You can see this when it comes down to the way people conduct themselves within their day-to-day lives, within the way they look after themselves physically, through nutrition, through exercise, through their states of mind, through their thought process, through the way they deal with stresses, through the way they deal with adversity that comes up in life and the day-to-day challenges attached to this. Do we not want to create competent adults? Or would you rather force feed them all of your bad habits, all of your bad traits, because it's too much for you to do something about? These lies that we force feed them is just as bad if you were to force feed them junk food every day, because that's all it is. It's junk. So if you really love them, why would you want to pass this on? When it comes to your friends and family, your brothers and your sisters, wouldn't you like to be that individual that people can come to and confide in? That can come to you when they really need someone to talk to? Be able to create that competent individual that they can come to when times are rough and times are tough, so that they can have someone competent to come to help guide them and to help point their life back into a positive trajectory when they're going through some shit here and there or whatever it may be. Do you understand the difference? Choose to be better. Choose to do better. I hope that little bit of food for thought can help, because if we do not lean into healing ourselves, all we're really doing is we're refeeding all of that pain. We're refeeding all of that trauma, all of that misunderstanding and those instabilities back onto our dogs, children, family and friends. And you know what? I ain't about that. I'd rather be part of the solution, not the problem. Let that ponder on your mind. God bless. Peace.